This is a continuation of this year's Himalayan birding expedition. If you haven't already watched the first part of this series, where I explored the snow-covered zigzag road of Zuluk and photographed the Himalayan monal along with some other high-altitude Himalayan birds, I would suggest you to watch the Zuluk birding video first to better understand the premise. Hello and welcome to the channel once again, everyone. As you may already know that every year in the winter months I try to visit the Western Himalayas for a Himalayan birding expedition. So in this year's Himalayan expedition I'll be visiting a few places in Sikkim. Right now we are staying at Padamchen, like 9 kilometers below Zuluk, and our route every day is like we'll be visiting Thambi viewpoint every morning, but that was actually our plan to visit Thambi viewpoint every morning, and by the evening we will go birding around Padamchen. So a couple of kilometers below Thambi viewpoint there are some tea stalls and places where you can have a sip of tea or you can have a breakfast. So we parked our car over there. So we are headed towards Zuluk right now, and the weather up here got a bit cloudy and frosty. It might start snowing, as you can see. But in the morning, early in the morning at 6 a.m. it was quite good. We reached here by 6 a.m. in the morning. By then it was quite clear, and we got to see the Himalayan monal quite a few times, and so good luck is on our side. So we are now leaving Thambi viewpoint and going towards Zuluk. Between Thambi viewpoint and Zuluk you would get to see very good bamboo habitats. Those habitats are good for scimitar babblers, and the slender-billed scimitar babbler is always high on my checklist, so I'll try to get good clips and shots of this slender-billed scimitar babbler today. Apart from that, those bamboo habitats are also good for parrotbills, like the brown parrotbill, the great parrotbill, and the black-throated parrotbill. All can be sighted in the same bamboo habitat. So we are going down towards Zuluk right now, and let's hope that we get to see the parrotbills and hopefully my favorite, the slender-billed scimitar babbler. After the early morning session at the zigzag road of Zuluk, we went to look for some of the inhabitants of the bamboo habitat around Zuluk and Padamchen. Just before we left the snowy winter wonderland behind us, we got to see the white-winged grosbeak and the pink-browed rosefinch. We were exploring the bamboo habitats at a lower altitude, while we heard calls of slender-billed scimitar babblers. After an extensive search, we got to see the bird at a distance. This is the most decent view of this beautiful bird that we got. You can see this bird using its curved bill to pick out a little insect hidden deep into the branch. That's exactly the reason why they have such a specialized curved bill. A green-tailed sunbird gave us a much closer appearance at a nearby bush. This bird also has a slightly curved bill, but just to pick on flowers. If the weather allows you, you can look for birds throughout the day here, and birds were everywhere. A cloudy weather allowed us to do birding even at midday. just by the streets. Among all the bird species sighted, the most friendly was the blue-fronted redstart. They were curious, landed closer every time, and were inquisitive. Others, like the streak-breasted scimitar babbler, would hardly perch in the open. They preferred to forage under the cover of the dense bushes, and getting a glimpse was quite a challenge. Often preferred the bamboo habitat like the slender-billed. The white-throated laughing thrush was a commoner here and often seen foraging in groups along the roadside. Another very skittish tiny bird was this rufous-capped babbler. Remains hidden inside dense bushes and hardly ever pause to take a single shot. When the harsh sunlight hit, we headed towards base. The next morning, as the first light appeared, the rolling clouds gave us a hint of another beautiful day. This would be our last day in Sikkim, and we will be leaving this beautiful homestay today. This was our stay for last 3 nights. Along with all the possible amenities, this homestay has a beautiful garden where the owner grows some vegetables and fruits. This is the Takchi homestay at Padamchen, the favorite among birders. The Takchi homestay is maintained by Mr. Chamba Sherpa and family. They have been a wonderful host and always amazed us with their warm hospitality. All of this Sikkim trip was arranged by our guide Suraj Rai. Suraj planned this trip and arranged everything to make this trip comfortable. The vehicles for sightseeing and transfer and our stay was all booked and arranged by Suraj. He even managed the permits for the trip beforehand to make this trip an uninterrupted and successful one. Our plan for the day was to transfer from Padamchen to Latpanchar and have some birding sessions en route if possible. Birding started at the homestay's garden itself. On the way, we stopped beside this beautiful stream where the road was under construction after being devastated by a huge landslide. These mountain streams are favorite among a few bird species like the forktails and water redstarts. The plumbeous water redstart was the most frequent here. The male has darker grey coloration all over its body with a rusty colored tail. The female is much lighter colored with spotted underparts. The female appeared much closer to us, danced, chirped, and even took a quick dip in the flowing stream before shaking the water off its feathers. A few yards away, beside the road, this incredible animal just appeared taking a leisurely stroll along the forest's edge. This is a barking deer or a muntjac, but only a bit darkly colored. The ones I have seen before were reddish in color. At the same spot, some yellow chick-tit appeared and gave me ample time to shoot. They were searching for insects. Suraj suddenly spotted the woodpecker at a distance, a bay woodpecker to be specific. It kept searching for insects on a mossy branch. This was our last birding session at Sikkim. See you on the next stop, that is the Senchal Wildlife Sanctuary. In the next one, you will see my birding experience at the Senchal Wildlife Sanctuary in the Darjeeling district of West Bengal.